please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out.
The compass.
Pipe ball, hands on the deck. Aye, aye, mateys. Shiver me timbers.
Simka and Nolik, what you doing here?
We're not Simka and Nolik. We're courageous pirates. Yeah, pirates. And today we leave home for the sea. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hooray! You mean no? No hooray? Oh, yeah. You can't join us without a test. Go and find a special thing. Something no sailor should ever sail the sea without.
I can do it, but how?
With a map. And it's over there.
I've never seen a map that's this puny.
What are you talking about, puny? That took us a half hour to make.
From where you're standing now. Uh-huh. From here, you mean?
You guessed it right.
First, head to the north until you will find... Hold on. But where's the north?
It's where the North Pole. Ice and polar bears are.
But how do I know which direction the North Pole is?
By compass, of course. A compass is a special tool that helps sailors and pilots know in which direction they're traveling, whether in the air or on the sea. Our planet is like a big magnet that has two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. These magnetic poles help the needle in the compass find its way. The needle is magnetized, so one of its ends will be attracted to the North Magnetic Pole and point at it, while the other end will always point towards the south.
That I know, but there's no compass around here.
Then let's make one by ourselves.
Out of what?
We can use a needle. We just have to magnetize it.
And how's it supposed to turn around?
In a saucer of water. Well, there you go. Now one end is pointing in the direction of north and the other to the south.
But which point's where? Well, there's the window, so that can't be the right way. The north is there.
I'm really liking this sharp little fella we've got here.
You calling me a little fella?
No, it's just the way us pirates talk.
All right then, north we go. First, head to the north until you see a sleeping monster.
Mateys ahoy! Monster on the horizon! Let him do it himself.
Now turn to the left and go 300 paces more. 300?
Exactly. I counted on myself.
Uh-huh. Okay, then that means I'll go 1, 2, 3. Now straight ahead until you get right up to the giant tree. You call that a tree? Wow, amazing! I can't believe my eyes. It's a real ship compass.
It's also called a marine compass.
The first compass was invented more than 1,000 years ago in ancient China. With its help, the Chinese were able to travel across the desert. And about 200 years later, the compass appeared in Europe. Whether the Europeans came up with the idea for the compass themselves or took it from the Chinese isn't clear. But one thing's for sure, we Fixies remember how those early compasses were built. The first compasses were made with a magnetized needle on top of a floater inside a bowl of water. Later, the needle was put on top of a pin that let it spin freely, and it started to look like the ones we use today. Since the needle of a compass always points to the north, a sailor can easily figure out which direction he needs to turn his ship. If he wants to go north, he follows the needle north. If he wants to go south, he goes in the opposite direction.
Your dad brought it home with him late last night from his work. You were asleep.
Hold on. I want to check something.
What's up?
Yeah, they line up together.
Of course they line up. If not, how else would you have gotten here?
We're done with the needle. It has to go back.
First head south 600 paces. 6 for you, matey.
The compass.
Pipe ball, hands on the deck. Aye, aye, mateys. Shiver me timbers.
Simka and Nolik, what you doing here?
We're not Simka and Nolik. We're courageous pirates. Yeah, pirates. And today we leave home for the sea. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hooray! You mean no? No hooray? Oh, yeah. You can't join us without a test. Go and find a special thing. Something no sailor should ever sail the sea without.
I can do it, but how?
With a map. And it's over there.
I've never seen a map that's this puny.
What are you talking about, puny? That took us a half hour to make.
From where you're standing now. Uh-huh. From here, you mean?
Guessed it right.
First head to the north until you will find... Hold on. But where's the north?
It's where the North Pole. Ice and polar bears are.
But how do I know which direction the North Pole is?
By compass, of course. A compass is a special tool that helps sailors and pilots know in which direction they're traveling, whether in the air or on the sea. Our planet is like a big magnet that has 2 poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. These magnetic poles help the needle in the compass find its way. The needle is magnetized, so one of its ends will be attracted to the North Magnetic Pole and point at it, while the other end will always point towards the South.
That I know, but there's no compass around here.
Then let's make one by ourselves.
Out of what?
We can use a needle. We just have to magnetize it.
And how's it supposed to turn around?
In a saucer of water. Well, there you go. Now one end is pointing in the direction of north and the other to the south.
But which points where? Well, there's the window, so that can't be the right way. The north is there.
I'm really liking this sharp little fella we've got here.
You calling me a little fella?
No, it's just the way us pirates talk.
All right then, north we go. First head to the north until you see a sleeping monster.
Mateys ahoy! Monster on the horizon! Let him do it himself.
Now turn to the left and go 300 paces more. 300?
Exactly. I counted on myself.
Uh-huh. Okay, then that means I'll go 1, 2, 3. Now straight ahead until you get right up to the giant tree. You call that a tree? Wow, amazing! I can't believe my eyes. It's a real ship compass.
It's also called a marine compass.
The first compass was invented more than 1,000 years ago in ancient China. With its help, the Chinese were able to travel across the desert. And about 200 years later, the compass appeared in Europe. Whether the Europeans came up with the idea for the compass themselves or took it from the Chinese isn't clear. But one thing's for sure, we Fixies remember how those early compasses were built. The first compasses were made with a magnetized needle on top of a floater inside a bowl of water. Later, the needle was put on top of a pin that let it spin freely, and it started to look like the ones we use today. Since the needle of a compass always points to the north, a sailor can easily figure out which direction he needs to turn his ship. If he wants to go north, he follows the needle north. If he wants to go south, he goes in the opposite direction.
Your dad brought it home with him late last night from his work. You were asleep.
Hold on. I want to check something.
What's up?
Yeah, they line up together.
Of course they line up. If not, how else would you have gotten here?
We're done with the needle. It has to go back.
First head south 600 paces. 6 for you, matey.
The camera.
Stop right there and let me see how pretty you look today.
Well, just don't tell that to the elevator.
Bye-bye.
Check it out, Nolik. Class, huh?
You're not gonna get in trouble for doing that?
No. My dad gave me permission to take a few pictures with this camera.
No, I mean the picture. You're sure that your mom and dad will like that you took it without asking for permission?
But look, what a good picture.
You know what, Tom Thomas? You're like a regular paparazzi or something.
Paparazzi? They're the ones that take one photo and get millions, aren't they?
You're right. And don't care about anyone except their photo paparazzis. Did you ever wonder how a photo camera works? Let's say you want to take a picture of nature. The light that's outside goes into the camera's lens. That's the glass eye on the front of the camera. The lens takes the light from the scene outside the camera and turns it into a tiny picture that's inside the camera. Then the picture is recorded onto a special electronic sensor called a matrix that's sensitive to light. Click, and there's your photo.
What a great idea. Now I know. I'm going to be a paparazzi.
Hey, what about your promise?
What promise?
To never take a picture of us. We're a secret. Stop.
Hey, relax. I'll delete them all later.
Tom Thomas, stop this right now.
I won't until I get a photo of you.
Nolik, let's run.
You can't run from me.
Chusaka?
Aha! I've gotcha. The story of the century. The monster and its prey.
Tom Thomas! Help! No, he won't help, because he's a paparazzi.
Yes! I got it! That's my best photo yet!
What's all this noise about?
Awesome shot!
The first cameras were invented almost 200 years ago, but they worked very slowly. If you wanted to have your portrait taken, you'd have to sit still for a whole hour. After film was invented, cameras got much faster, and it became possible to take about 10 pictures a minute. On a piece of film, everything appears to be backwards. Black parts of the picture are white, and the white is black. It doesn't look normal until the picture is transferred from the film to a piece of photographic paper. Now people shoot pictures with digital cameras that work without any film at all. You can look at what you shot instantly on a screen to see if you like it. And if you don't like it, you can try shooting another one. And today, you don't even need a separate camera to take pictures. Almost every mobile phone has one.
Simka and Nolik, are you in there? Hey, come out. I'll stop shooting photos of you. Aren't we friends? I'm sorry, guys.
Well, your friends were almost eaten alive by a dog.
Please forgive me. Want to look at the photos I took?
Sure, go on, show us what you got. We're not in that shot. We're not there either. Ha! Well done there, paparazzi.
Hang on a sec. I still got another one, and you're in it. I know for sure. Look! I'm zooming in. It's impossible. I don't believe it.
It's possible.
But when did you have time to turn into screws?
The same time you were pushing the button. When we're scared, we can change faster than the blink of an eye. You lost. Paparazzi. And what are you gonna do with your millions, Mr. Paparazzi?
Would you please stop calling me that?
You got it, after every one of those photos is thrown away.
All right, I'll delete them. And do I have to delete this one too?
No, keep it. It's a great shot. I never even saw you take it. The doorbell.
Nolik! Nolik, what are you doing here? Just whistling a tune. Are you gonna whistle that tune the whole time Tom Thomas is away? He just left with his parents for a week, and we've got guests coming, remember? What guests? I invited everybody. The class? Yes, class.
Are they sleeping in there what, huh?
First they invite us, and now they don't want to let us in? I'll share the present with you then. Fire. Maybe you'll get it to work now. When they get here, they'll ring the bell. How come? Why don't they just do what they always do and climb through the keyhole? No way. It's not that simple, Nolik. Today they're our guests. Ah. The guests ring the bell, and the hosts let them in the house.
It doesn't ring.
You think the doorbell's broken?
I say we go fix it.
Before we fix anything, we need to know what went wrong with it.
First we'll fix it, and then we'll know what it was.
Back in the olden days, people would hang a bell over their doors with a string, and guests would tug on it to make it ring. Today, doorbells are electric, and they make all sorts of different sounds. Some buzz, some ring, and some even chirp like birds. The sound comes from a box inside the house called a chime. To make the chime ring, you push a button that's located outside. The button works just like a light switch, but instead of turning on light, it turns on sound.
Verda, will you join me? Whoop!
I gotta think about this. Yeah. Simka! You think your guests are gonna come at all? Simka! Tula? Hey! The doorbell doesn't work. It must be broken. That's odd. We heard it ring this morning. Nolik, let's go. First, we'll examine the contacts. Yep, good and tight. Okay, let's check the speaker. The speaker's fine. Maybe the electronics are the problem.
And what if we disconnect these wires and switch them?
What'll that do?
We'll know soon enough. You know what? Why don't we connect the wires straight together?
Isn't that dangerous?
We'll find out. Don't worry, nothing happened yet.
Fire. He's the engine of our class. He's the fastest, the nimblest, and the bravest. Fire never sits still for a second, and he's always looking for adventure. New ideas just burn in his head. And that's why his name is Fire. But not all of his ideas are very good, so he's constantly getting bumps and bruises. He just can't help getting carried away. If he's burning with an idea, he can even forget about his classes at school. Grampus punishes him for that. But it doesn't seem to bother Fire, because some new plan will pop into his head the very next second. To be honest, Fire's my favorite out of all the boys in our class. It's sure never boring when he's around. Hey, you down there. I figured out why it's not working.
So what's the reason?
There's no electricity in the whole house.
So that's why the bell isn't working.
And what? We can't visit like real guests do until the electricity comes back? And when will it work again?
Don't know. It could possibly take hours, guys.
Oh, it's working again! Ah! Enough ringing! Hey, Fire, quit fooling around! He's not fooling around!
It's not me, see?
Then who's ringing it? I don't know. Well, I know. The doorbell's ringing because Fire connected the wires together.
True, but I'll fix that right now.
Ha! Your guests sure are noisy. Yeah, thank goodness the humans aren't home right now. Hello? Hello there, dear guests. Let yourself into our home through the keyhole. So, should we go in?
Go where?
Go inside.
Nah, that's not how guests act.
So what do we do?
Real guests always ring the bell. Okay, hold me tight. Hup.
The disguise.
Oh, good.
Tom Thomas, why do you need a second aquarium? Especially without any fish.
First of all, it's a terrarium. And it's not for fish, it's for lizards and snakes.
Ooh.
My friend Katya asked me to take care of him while she's away. That's why I brought him here.
Take care of who? There's no one in there. Ah! What is that?
It's a chameleon, Nolik. I think he's awesome.
It's a bad idea to take him out. He might run away.
Don't you worry, I got him.
What a monster. But how come I couldn't see him before? It's because a chameleon knows how to disguise himself by changing the color of his whole body. Have you ever seen a military uniform? They have special patterns and colors that help soldiers hide. That's called camouflage, and people learned it from animals. For instance, a caterpillar can look like a twig, and a seahorse can look like a piece of coral. An ordinary gray rabbit becomes white in the winter, so a wolf will have trouble finding it in the snow. But the champion of camouflage is the chameleon. This master of disguise can change its color in just a matter of seconds. Hey, Tom Thomas, where'd your chameleon go?
Oh, it disappeared.
It didn't disappear, it camouflaged. He won't hide for long. Let's find him.
Chusaka, have you seen the chameleon? Where is he? Do you see him?
No, he's not gonna let us catch him. We're gonna have to trick him into coming to us. Uh-huh. We can set a trap with something that he likes.
What do they like, I wonder?
What else? They're food. And what do chameleons eat? Well, like flies or caterpillars, roaches.
Where's the fly gonna come from?
Well, what if... What? Oh, Simka, just you wait. I'm gonna get you. Hey, we've gotta help Katya. You don't see the caterpillar complaining. Quiet. Nolik, you start buzzing. Buzzing? Yeah, like a fly.
Yeah, and flap your wings, too.
Simka, how long do I gotta keep doing this? Until the chameleon shows himself. Just keep buzzing. Tom Thomas, there he is. Grab him. Let go of my brother.
In the army, they use camouflage all the time. They use nets that look like bushes, paint their tanks in colors that make them blend into their surroundings, and even fly in special planes that can't be seen by radar. They do everything they can to disguise their location. But it's not just the army that uses disguises. Photographers camouflage themselves to take pictures of wild animals. People use makeup to camouflage their blemishes. And artists, they disguise old walls with bright, happy pictures. And people just love to put on masquerade parties where they disguise themselves in costumes and masks. And of course, Fixies have their own great disguise. Remember? Well, what is it?
Now he won't run away.
So, Mr. Master of Disguise, what are you gonna say now?
If only I could disguise myself that well.
Nolik, what are you talking about? You know how to disguise yourself 100 times better than him.
Ah, you're right. Hey, chameleon, look and learn. Here's a real disguise.
Tubes.
Today's lesson will be on pipes and tubing. Right here inside of this laboratory, you can see them all over. Look, over there, and there. Some more over there, and there's another one. So, who can tell me some different uses for tubes? Digit.
They're used in plumbing to carry the water.
Nolik, in school we don't give an answer without being called on. Digit.
You can...
And for carrying waste.
I am talking to Digit now.
Gas goes through pipes too.
Stop interrupting us.
And don't forget about smoke in a smokestack.
Nolik, that's just rude behavior. Out right now. All right.
And a shower hose. That's also a tube, right?
I told you to get out.
Yikes! And a vacuum cleaner's got one too. And those spyglasses that pirates use when they're sailing.
Hey, what do you say we all go and sneak out of here?
Great idea. Let him call out to himself.
Shh.
And a trumpet's a tube that you blow through.
Nolik is my younger brother. There's a lot he still doesn't know, but that doesn't stop him from getting involved in things he probably shouldn't. Unfortunately, that can get him into trouble. So, every once in a while, me or my parents have to rescue him. No, I wouldn't call Nolik a pest. He's just a bit curious. That's why he broke the #1 Fixie rule, hide from humans. Nolik's the one who first became friends with Tom Thomas. Well, I was there too, but Nolik started it. Actually, first it was Grampus. Many years ago, he befriended Professor Eugenius. And after that, the professor let us have our school in his laboratory. So it turns out that Nolik is just like his grandfather.
Digit, go on then.
Tubes are,
Wow! Just look at all the tubes in here. There's rubber ones and glass ones that are curvy. Oh yeah! Pens! Parts of them are tubes too.
He stopped talking.
he ran out of ideas.
And those tube slides at the water park. The barrel of a rifle and the shell of a bullet. Those are tubes. Oh, there's a tube with a serious crack. And it's also dripping and hissing.
It's dripping? Where?
How can I show you when you kick me out of class?
What's going on?
Take a look. That tube up there is leaking.
That's acid dripping out.
Is that dangerous?
It's awful.
Any second now, it'll explode.
Where did Professor Eugenius go?
He went to eat a sandwich.
So what do we do? It's a disaster.
Don't panic. Fire, Verda. Go to that hose and shut off that valve. Simka, go get a pack-a-mat. We'll fix this pipe ourselves. It's very important to be sure that a pipe won't leak. But making pipes that won't leak isn't so easy. Pipes can be made by rolling up a sheet of metal and sealing it up. Unfortunately, the seam can break, and that's why people have figured out how to make pipes without seams. They do it by stretching out hot metal on special machines. And PVC pipes are squeezed out of hot plastic like pasta. When the plastic is cooled down, it hardens into a pipe. We fixed it just in time. Nolik, way to go there. Hey, Simka, where is he?
Don't know. Heh, he finally left.
Here I am.
Nolik, I want to thank you for being alert, and I'd like you to join our class.
Tadish!
Only don't forget, in my class, students cannot answer unless they're called on. Now then, pipes and tubing. Digit, please continue. Well?
But Nolik said all of them already.
Nolik.
Not all. A straw for drinking a shake is a tube, and some noodles are tubes made out of dough. And what's it called? That thing. A hole in a mountain.
Wait a second, I'll get it. A volcano.
That's not it. They go this way. I mean the kind that go like that.
Heh, they're tunnels.
You got it. Well done there. Yeah.
The clocks. Go around. Left side.
That's crazy. You'll crash.
No, I won't. See, I told ya.
What?
Huh? Nothing.
Now you talk with your computer like it's your friend. Listen, that's enough playing for today.
Oh, Mom, just a little more.
I'll give you half an hour while I cook dinner, and that'll be enough for today with the computer.
This stinks. I'll never get through all of these levels in half an hour.
No way.
Hey, but what if we could stretch out the half hour?
How?
We could take the hands on the clock and move them back a little.
Mom will catch us.
Fine, then let's slow down the speed of the clocks.
Yeah,
But how?
You gotta know things like that. Since olden times, many clocks run with the help of a pendulum. The pendulum controls how fast the hands of the clock turn. If you make it longer, the pendulum will start to swing slower, and the clock's hands will slow down. If you make the pendulum shorter, the clock will tick faster. Most clocks that are made today don't use pendulums. They run with the help of springs or with an electronic chip instead. But even so, there are ways to change the speed of these clocks, too. Push it!
Wow, you did it! It's amazing how much slower it is.
that'll give you lots of time to play.
But now you gotta slow down the clocks in the kitchen.
Yeah, and every other clock you got. I just have to turn this to make the pendulum longer.
Uh-huh. And now the clock will go slower. Tadee! Fire! Now that clock over there.
Let's go do it.
That's it! We slowed down every clock, and your mom didn't see a thing.
That's great. Yeah.
Wow, Tom Thomas, you're cool! Amazing!
He got another one.
Awesome!
You're unbelievable. Way to go.
Huh. That's strange.
Hooray!
Incredible.
Yay, I did every level. Oh, thanks. You're both just...
The time masters of the universe.
Yeah, but I'm getting really hungry, and Mom hasn't called me for dinner.
Because a half hour hasn't passed on the clock.
Hey, do you smell that?
Something is burning. What happened? A fire?
I don't get it. I was just waiting for 30 minutes like I always do, but everything burned this time. Maybe the clock stopped?
No, take a look. They're working.
Oh, I'll make you some oatmeal.
Oatmeal for dinner? Mom, I need to, I'll be right back. You see what you've done? time masters of the universe, you gotta go speed those clocks back up.
Okay, okay. We'll speed them up. They'll be caught up in no time.
Humans have come up with lots of different ways to measure time. For example, if you stand a stick in the ground, you can measure the time of day by watching where its shadow falls. That's a very simple clock called a sundial. Another simple and ancient clock is a water clock. It keeps track of time by measuring how much water has poured out of it. And if the clock uses sand instead of water, it's called an hourglass. But humans weren't able to accurately keep track of the time until they invented mechanical clocks. They come in all sorts of sizes, from grandfather clocks to watches worn around the wrist. Today, we also have easy-to-read and accurate electronic watches and clocks. But the most accurate clock of them all is the atomic clock. It tells the entire world the exact time.
Thomas, why is your alarm clock ringing in the middle of the night, huh?
Really? Is it still night out?
Look, Thomas.
But the clock says that it's morning.
Interesting.
Yesterday, Fire and I sped up all the clocks. So that's the reason the alarm went off.
Sped him up? Are you crazy?
Thomas asked us.
So what do we have to do now?
Don't you know? Get to school, it's time. I'm joking. Go back to sleep. Don't worry, I'll get all the clocks working right again.
Can I go and fix them with you?
Ha! Fix them? You boys are the ones that always make the problems.
Knots.
Nolik, there are pirates off the starboard side. Battery, fire!
Hey, I'm not a pirate. Why'd you hit me? That's it. I'm tired of playing the wind. Where are my pirates?
This looks great. Can I board your ship?
And what are your skills?
Tons, like protecting the ship and yelling hooray when we win.
And how about good sea knots? Can you tie them?
Ha! Of course I can tie them.
Then tie up our treasure. And make sure it's good and tight.
Pirates, prepare to attack!
I got it. Whoa!
That's done. Good enough.
Hooray!
It's good and tight.
Now can you survive a storm?
Without a doubt.
Our treasure!
It's sunk into the sea.
That was my mom's necklace we sunk.
I'll pick it all up, don't worry.
No, thank you. We'll manage ourselves. He calls himself a sailor. Go and learn to tie some knots. Try tying 2 ropes into a knot. You think it's easy? A badly tied knot will untie itself before you know it. Here's one way to tie it right. First, cross over the 2 ends like this. Now, to finish the knot, you've got to cross them over again. But not this way. It's got to be in the opposite direction. When it's done, it looks like one loop inside another. This kind of knot is called a square knot. And it won't untie as long as you tie it right. And that's just one of the many kinds of knots a sailor has to learn.
Oh! Okay. I knew I could tie it. Now what else is there to practice on around here?
I found some more of our treasure.
Here's another one.
That's 19, but we're supposed to have 20. I know it because I counted our treasure.
So what happened to the last one?
Well done there. So what else could I tie? Perfect.
I even remember what it looks like. It's a different color. It's a bright red one.
Oh, Mom's gonna notice right away that the red one's gone. I gotta go find it.
Yeah, I think it's on the floor.
Who tied my laces together?
I was just practicing, sorry.
And what else did you tie up to practice your knots?
Not sure you want to know.
You're funny. Let's go untie them.
Chisaka, don't look at me that way. I'm scared.
She's just staring at her own whiskers, Nolik.
And what have you done to her whiskers?
Well, I tied them with a square knot.
Fire, you're just a blockhead. And why don't you tell us what else you've done?
Well, okay. I tied a decoration on her tail.
That's where it is. We were looking everywhere for that thing.
Fire, go and fix everything you've done.
Chisaka, don't run away.
Don't be scared. We just want to untie the knots.
Sailors have developed all sorts of different knots. Without them, they couldn't control their sails. But we couldn't get by without knots on land either. Mountain climbers use tightly knotted ropes to help them climb and keep them safe. Fishermen tie hooks to their fishing line using special knots. You can't even pitch a camping tent properly without making a knot. When people sew, they tie knots in the thread to hold it in place. And doctors use knots when they stitch and bandage a wound. And a tie wouldn't be a tie if you didn't tie a knot in it. Sneakers won't fall off your feet. And the laces won't drag on the ground if they're tied with a proper knot. But sometimes things can get knotted up by accident. And that's one time when you don't need to know how to tie knots, but how to untie them.
All aboard!
Like that. Now the only thing left to do is tie a knot.
Should I tie it?
Are you sure it won't untie?
You're joking. Why don't you go ask Chisaka if I can tie a knot like a sailor?
The gramophone.
And that's a photograph of my mom when she was little.
She sure looked happy, didn't she? Because parents were all happy when they were children. But then they grow up and start getting all gloomy and as boring as can be.
Oh, what's this, do you know? A song about a screw? It's total nonsense.
Nonsense! It's about a screw, which means it's practically about Fixies. Why don't we listen to it and find out?
If it's good, we can all dance together. How do you listen to this thing? Like this?
Why don't we try to use the player?
We won't fit in there. Look, right here it says gramophone record. See?
So we need to find a gramophone player.
Find what?
Let's go to Grandpa's.
Grandpa's, we found a song about a screw we want to hear.
We're looking for a player for a gramophone record.
Ah, I understand. What you need is a gramophone. A gramophone is an old appliance that was made for playing back sound that was recorded onto records. If you want to turn on a gramophone, you need to turn the handle to wind up its spring. The spring makes the record spin. Then, a needle is placed on top of the record, and as it moves through the groove on the record, it shakes a little, which makes a diaphragm, a sort of mini drum skin, start to vibrate. The big horn of the gramophone then makes the sound louder, and we hear a voice or music. The most amazing thing is that a gramophone doesn't have an electric motor or any electronics. That's right. You don't need electricity for a gramophone to play back the sound that's recorded on a record. That's because a gramophone is an entirely mechanical wonder. If you want to know, there is a gramophone in the office of Tom Thomas's dad. It's on the desk.
Great, let's go.
Thanks would be nice.
I can't find the on button.
There is no on button. You need to grab that handle and turn it.
Now take that thing and put it down onto the record.
It's not playing.
Look, there's no needle in there.
And where can we get one from?
We can make it. Do you have any nails around here?
Is this good?
That'll be great. Verda, are you ready?
Totally.
Better cover your eyes.
It's working, listen.
The little screw went for a run and
strong one, until there was a thud. And then the mighty giant fell straight into the mud. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, a little screw went for a run. And now without this little part, everything just falls apart.
If you think a screw is nothing, take it out, but just beware. Everything will break without 'em, with no little screws in there. If you think a screw is nothing, take it out, but just beware. Everything will break without 'em, with no little screws in there.
Tom Thomas, what's that music playing?
It's a gramophone record.
Gramophone? I thought it was broken.
We fixed this old... not we. I fixed this thing.
Really? What a wonderful boy I've got. Other kids are breaking things and you fix them. What do you say we play that record once more? I used to love it so much when I was little.
The mighty crane was working until there was a pop. And then the mighty giant gave out and lost its top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, a little screw went for a run. And now without this little part, everything just falls apart.
If you think a screw is nothing, take it out, but just beware. Everything will break without 'em, with no little screws in there. If you think a screw is nothing, take it out, but just beware. Everything will break without 'em, with no little screws in there.
Tom Thomas's mom really dances super. Yeah, she knows how to have a good time, even though she's a grown-up.
If you think a screw is...
The bee.
Tom Thomas,
Hello.
how come you're eating jam straight from out of the jar?
Because it tastes so good.
Oh, a bee!
Shoo, get out of here.
Leave it alone. It's just a plain old bee.
Well, I was bitten by one of those plain old bees once. Ugh.
Tom Thomas, don't do it!
Go away, you pest!
Flies are pests. Bees are very helpful and useful.
How can a bee ever help us out?
Bees are hard workers. They are constantly collecting nectar from flowers. Flying from flower to flower, bees transport pollen on their bellies. Thanks to this process of pollination, flowers produce fruit and seeds. In other words, bees help plants reproduce. The bees use the nectar they collect to make that delicious sweet honey loved by kids of all ages. And bee honey is not only delicious, it's also nutritious.
So I'm still afraid of it. What if it bites me?
Bees don't bite, by the way. They sting ya.
Ah! Ah! Well, now I'm gonna show ya.
Don't! The bee's the one who should be afraid, you tyrant. Yeah, you let it go, tyrant.
Why are you calling me names? Who's stopping her? She can fly away if she wants.
We need to show her the way out.
Well, how? Here, little bee. Fly this way.
Why don't you try going?
Then what can I say? Chisaka, don't move. It'll sting you.
It doesn't want to sting. Both of you like to eat sweets. You like eating jam, and so does the bee. Why don't you carry Chisaka to the window?
Go on, fly.
No, that's not gonna work. You need to go and get more jam.
Here, little bee. Yum, yum. Go on and fly. You're free.
Let her eat first. Don't be greedy.
I'm not being greedy.
If she eats, she can make honey out of your jam.
Long ago, people could only collect honey by destroying the nests of wild bees. And that went on until someone came up with the idea of taming those insects. They started by leaving enough honey for the bees to survive through the winter. People took care of bees in these hollows until they learned to build small houses for them called beehives. And a town made of these bee houses is called an apiary. Bees live and work together in the beehives making honey, while beekeepers take care of the bees and collect the honey. Bees are real team players. They tell each other where the best flowers grow. Do you know how they do it? One of the bees does a dance, and then the rest of the bees watch the dance and learn where they need to fly.
You poor thing. Tom Thomas tired you out.
I told you there's nothing to be afraid of. You see? She's just so nice and kind.
I'm not afraid of her. She wouldn't let me eat my jam, that's all.
Well, now it's time for you to fly away. Whoa! She's playing rough here.
I want to try.
Nolik. You're too little. You'll have to grow to do this job. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Calm down now. Now let's fly.
Hey, Simka, the window's back there.
I can see that without you. So how can I get you to turn around? Cool! Hooray! She's listening to me! Phew! Woohoo!
Don't miss the window.
Now! So long, honeybee! Tiddish!
Tom Thomas, do you have any more of that jam left?
Yeah. What for?
Bring it here. We'll get more bees to fly in.
How come?
What do you mean, how come? Because it's my turn for a bee ride.